Question 11's looking like some kind of trig or cosine or sine rule. I know that they want me to find this height, because that's what it says here, calculate the height of the building. If I had either that bit of information or this bit of information, then I could work out the height using trig, because I know that's 78. If I can just work out this length, then I know that I can work out the height here. So what I'm going to have to need to do first is work with this triangle, which is 50 metres here, 65 here. And again, I want this one, so there's one pair. If I had this pair here, I could use that A over sine A is B over sine B, because I've got matching pairs. Luckily, as the way the angles are set out, I can work out this angle quite easily. 78 and 90, so this one is 180, take away 78, take away 90, which is 12 degrees. This one is going to be 180, take away 78, which is 102. And this one is going to be 180, take away 102, take away 65. So 102 and 65 make 167. So that means I need 13 degrees here. So I can now put this into this diagram here. It's this one I'm looking for, so we'll make that B and B and A and A. So 50 over sine 13 is B over sine 65. So B is 50 times sine 65, multiplying this up here, divided by sine 13. And all I'm going to do is type that on a calculator and work it out. So altogether, that's 201.4455522. Now I'm going to just keep that in my calculator as answer and use that later on. But I now know, back up here, that this length, which is this length, is 201.44. So I'm going to use trig now, which is the easier bit. I've got a right angled triangle with 78 here, 201.44 here, and h here. Except I'm not going to call that h because that'll confuse. I'm just going to put question mark because this is the h of hypotenuse, opposite and adjacent. This one's irrelevant. So car tower. So it's sin. So sin 78, opposite on the top, hypotenuse on the bottom. So it's a times question, so I'm just going to do sin 78 times 200, well I'm going to use the answer button like I talked about here to get that. When I type all that in, I get 197.04348835. It's 3 significant figures, watch out for that, it's a lost mark if you don't do it. 1, 2, 3. And I don't need to round it up because that's a 0. Question 12, simultaneous equations. We don't have a matching pair, so I'm going to make one of them match. I'm going to make this one match so that I can use the differences rule. So to make these two match, I'm going to make this one whole equation times by 2, and that times by 2, 3, because 3 times 2 is 6, and 2 times 3 is 6. So if I times this by 2, I get 6x plus 4y is 22. And times this one by 3, get 6x minus 15y is 60. Now, these are the same. The difference between this is 38, and that's caused by a difference, and this is where you've got to be careful, between minus 15 and 4. And the difference there is of 19. But because this one's bigger and this one's smaller, it must be minus 19y, and that's the only place you've got to be careful. If you want to think about it, when I take away more of something, the answer is bigger. So it must be the opposite to what I think. So if minus 19y is 838, then 19y must be minus 38. So y must be 38 divided by 19 is 2, but minus 2. Finish it off by saying if y is minus 2, 3x plus 2y's are 11. So 3x minus 4 minus 2 times 2 is 11. So 3x is 15. So x is 5. So 5 minus 2. Question 13 is solving a quadratic with a coefficient in front of it, a number in front of it. Usually when you're solving quadratics you can try and factorise them. This, 3 significant figures, is a big clue that I'm going to get a horrible decimal, so I must be using the formula. Look in the front of your exam paper and you will find the quadratic equation there. You don't have to have it memorised. It shows you that A is the first number, B is the second, C is the third. So it gives you a really good clue about how to use it. So when we do the question, write out the formula from looking at the back of the front of your exam paper. Then A, B, C. So x is minus b, so minus 2, plus or minus the square root of 2 squared minus 4 times 3 times minus 4, all over 2 times 3. All this means is you've got 2 different answers. One, well, you do minus 2 plus that, and divide by 6, 2 times 3. And one where you will do minus 2 take away. Simple as that. And all I'm going to do is, using the fraction button, should be a times here, sorry, is I'm going to type that into your calculator. I'll show you one and leave you to do the other one. So if I get my calculator, I'm going to use the fraction button. I've got to put in on the top minus 2 plus the square root of 2 squared minus 4 times 3 times minus 4. Just be careful you use minus 4 there and not take away 4. And then we want to put on the bottom a 6. Funny looking answer, so push SD. 0.8685170918. 3 significant figures, so 0.869. Make sure you round that one. If you type the other one in your calculator, you get minus 1.535183, and so on, a couple of other numbers, but what's important is it's minus 1.54 because next to it is a 5. The 3 significant figures, and that's it, done.